Hello everyone, and welcome to the Influencer Barbie channel. We have Miss Barbie Roberts, and I am Barbie's assistant. My name is Beverly, and I am an adult Barbie enthusiast. Welcome to our Barbieverse. We create content for people who love all things Barbie as much as we do. Now here in 2026, Barbie and I wanted to do some more crafting videos. And we have done a few videos over the past few weeks where we showed you ways that you can do easy crafts with items that might be trash, in quotes. So things that you might be throwing away, or we hope recycling as much as you can. And what we did in our previous videos was just some really super easy crafts that you can do with those items. Today we thought we would show you a craft idea that may take a little bit more work, but you can still do with items that you would be throwing away. So we know that the Roberts family has lots of pets in their household, and I wanted to make a bed for the Roberts family cats. So what I have done is we have a box of the Better Goods cookies from Walmart, and we've eaten the cookies and carefully cleaned our plastic tray from the inside. And when I got these cookies, I thought, oh, this tray would be really good to do something with. And I thought this is actually a really good size and shape to be a cat basket or a pet basket of any sort. So if your Barbie family has dogs instead of cats, you can do that. So we have our little tray here, and I have some bottles of paint. These are also from Walmart. We use the light mocha and chocolate bar paint in a previous video when we painted this Kinetic sand doghouse, and I'll put a link to that here. So, but these are super affordable, so if you mess up when you're making your craft, you haven't put a big expense into it, and especially using trash recyclable items. That really brings down the cost of this craft here. And once we paint our cat bed, we want to have some blankets for our cats to lie on. And I have some little cloth mats that are from Barbie play sets. But another easy thing to do if you have some fabric scraps around, this is some knit t-shirt fabric from, of course, we had to have Barbie pink here. And so we'll just cut this into a rectangular shape, or if you want to be a little bit more fancy, you could do an oval and put this in our cat bed. So first we'll go ahead and paint our cat basket. And because I don't want to get paint on the floor of the Barbie studio, I have my crafting mat here. This is a Fiskars Crafting Mat. I'll show that to you real quickly. And this is also from Walmart. I think it's also available at Amazon, so I'll put a link to that. And it has two different sides, so if you're sewing, that is really helpful. So if you're working with dark fabric, you can have the light side up, and light fabric have the dark side up. So it's a little bit easier to see what you're doing. So we'll go ahead and paint our baskets. And I have some paint brushes that are also from Walmart. And for my paint palette, this is actually a plastic lid. But again, we're using items that might otherwise get thrown away or recycled. and putting them to further use. So we'll carefully open that up and squeeze out a little bit of paint. And if you want to, you can also mix your colors together to get something darker or lighter with what you're working with. So we'll go ahead and paint that. Okay, so right now I think I'm getting better coverage with the light mocha paint than I am with the chocolate bar paint. So what I've done is to paint both the outside and the inside of these containers, and I'm going to let it dry for, I believe I'm supposed to do that for at least an hour, but I think painting both the inside and the outside is giving me enough good coverage that I probably don't need to do a second coat on these, but we're going to let them dry and then come back and see what they're looking like, and then we'll go ahead and cut the fabric to make the blanket for our kitties. So we will be back in just a little bit. Alright, and we are back. I have allowed the paint here to sit overnight, so everything should be nice and dry. So what I'm going to do is to separate our 3 little boxes here, and I'm going to cut off the edges. You could leave these on, but I noticed when I was painting yesterday that the paint didn't go on this smoother plastic as well as the formed plastic, so I'm just going to cut those edges off, and that way it'll also, I think, make it look a little bit more like an actual basket for our pets. So we'll go ahead and do that. And I only did 1 layer of paint, but since I painted both the inside and outside of the plastic, I think that should give us pretty good coverage here. So I'm not going to do a second coat of paint. Here we go. And we'll do the second one. Alright. And we have our blankets here for our kitties. And put one of these Barbie pieces of cloth in here. We'll put our kitties in. And then I took my pink t-shirt fabric and cut it into a rectangle. And the nice thing about the t-shirt fabric, it doesn't fray, so you don't have to worry about hemming the edges. You could if you wanted to make it look extra nice. And we'll put our other kitty in here. And another nice thing about using this t-shirt fabric, not only am I using scraps that might otherwise just get thrown out for an old t-shirt, but this fabric is 100% cotton, and so I can actually put it in my compost pile to have it break down. So that is another great way to use items that you might be throwing away, or let's hope recycling as much as possible. So this will go into my compost pile. And here we go. We have some nice pet baskets to use in the Barbie house. And if we wanted, we could add a little bit more texturing to our baskets here to make them look a little bit more realistic. But this is a craft that did not cost a lot of money. I already had the paint, and I was using plastic items that I already had at hand and would have been recycling. Got my recycled paint palette here. So this is a great way to do some crafting with items that you might be throwing away or recycling, but you can use them in your Barbie house. So please let us know in the comments below if you enjoy our crafting with trash videos, and if you have some other suggestions of crafting videos that we might do, especially with our trash items, or some other crafting items that you would like to see us do in future videos. In 2026, we're hoping to do more crafting videos. And thank you very much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to be part of our Barbieverse. And be sure to ring the notification bell. It really does help our channel to grow. And once we hit some subscriber milestones, we plan to have some fun giveaways. And if you'd like a chance of getting a shout out in an upcoming video, just comment below with the hashtag InfluencerBarbie. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you in our next episode here in our Barbieverse. Bye-bye!